Hello and welcome to Melbourne. Today I'm taking a flight like no other. I'll be flying on an 81-year-old DC-3 to King Island. Built in 1945 during World War II, this aircraft is truly a piece of living history. I cannot wait to get on board and learn about its story. Let's go! My DC-3 flight departs from Essendon Fields Airport. From 1921 to 1970, Essendon was Melbourne's main airport and played a key role during the 1956 Olympic Games. Suburban expansion prevented the airport from expanding, so Tasmania was constructed and has since become Melbourne's main international gateway. Today, Sharp Airlines is the only airline that operates scheduled passenger flights from Essendon Airport. The DC-3 is owned by Shortstop Jet Charter, one of many charter operators based at Essendon. This flight isn't a scheduled commuter service, but is sold as part of a day tour to King Island. Check-in took place at their hangar 30 minutes before departure. We received our seat assignments and were then invited to relax with a cup of tea in the lounge or enjoy a glass of champagne or orange juice in the hangar. Here you can see the company's Falcon 900C business jet and, in the distance, our legendary DC-3. The Douglas DC-3 was developed in 1935, just 32 years after WWII made the world's first powered flight. Before World War II, it revolutionized air travel by establishing longer routes previously unreachable by its predecessors and became one of the first airliners capable of operating profitably without mile subsidies. It was affectionately nicknamed the Gooney bird due to its resemblance to the albatross, a large seabird known for its long wings and effortless gliding ability. This particular aircraft was among the last ones produced. Delivered as a C-47, the military version of the DC-3 to the Royal Australian Air Force in 1945, it was purchased by Shortstop Jet Charter in the late 1980s.
So 3D,
Yeah.
so you're third row from the front.
On the right.
Window.
Okay, thank you. While the airframe is quite old, the interior has been refurbished. There are 28 passenger seats arranged in a 2-2 configuration. I was allocated a window seat in row 3. As the DC-3 has a small tail wheel at the back, boarding requires a short uphill walk to the front. The seats sourced from a former Airbus A300 are quite comfortable and have plenty of legroom.
On behalf of Captain Mike Falls and Jeff Stagg and myself, I'd like to welcome you aboard Melbourne's Gooney bird. In preparation for takeoff, we would like to explain to you the safety aspects of the DC-3.
This aircraft is powered by two Pratt & Whitney twin-row Wasp piston engines, each with 14 cylinders and generating 1,200 horsepower. The DC-3 can take off and land on dirt runways and has a low stall speed of around 125 km per hour. It felt like we lifted off the ground in just a few seconds. The flight to King Island takes about 1 hour. We will fly past the Westgate Bridge, over Port Phillip Bay, and across the Bass Strait. This flight operates on selected Sundays throughout the year, and as of January 2025, the cost is $697 per person. The price includes return flights on the DC-3, lunch, and a tour of King Island. For an additional $75, you can ride in the Jumpseat with the pilots during either takeoff or landing. Apart from trips to King Island, this aircraft is also used for day excursions to wine regions, 45-minute joy flights over Melbourne, and evening cocktail flights. The back section of the plane has been converted into a lounge area where passengers can relax, chat, and take in the views through the large rectangular windows. I was pleasantly surprised to find a toilet on board, and it's very spacious. Back at my seat, I was offered a snack pack and a drink. The DC-3 does not have a pressurized cabin or air conditioning. It flies much lower than modern jets. As such, for passenger comfort, flights are often cancelled, typically when the temperature exceeds 25 degrees Celsius or the wind surpasses 25 km per hour. In the event of a cancellation, you can request a refund or be rebooked for a future date. The 1 hour flight passed quickly. This was certainly a unique, once-in-a-lifetime experience. About 20 minutes before landing, I was escorted to the cockpit for my pre-booked jump seat into King Island Airport. Watching the pilots land an aircraft from inside the cockpit had always been a dream of mine, and sitting in the legendary DC-3 made it even more special. I was given a headset which allowed me to hear the pilot's communications with air traffic control.
Well above 19 on to a final.
King Island Airport is regularly served by Rex Airlines, King Island Airlines and Sharp Airlines, connecting the island with Melbourne and a few other Tasmanian destinations. A bus was already waiting outside the terminal to take us to lunch and the attractions. During the ride, the driver provided a brief yet informative commentary about this island and its largest settlement, Currie.
So folks, our little island's 26 kilometres long by 25 wide, and it encompasses some 109,000 hectares, most of which is grazing land. And in the last 6 years or so we've become very synonymous with golf. So we've got Australia's number 1 18-hole links course here on the island, as well as Australia's number 5. Down the bottom of the hill where you see this person walking here is a little place called Camp Creek, and that's where the very first camp was set up here on the island. It was set up there because of fresh water in the creek. And that's where Currie actually started. Kids skate rink here on the left with the RSL building and the library. Senior sits here with all the rust coming out of it. And the rest of the town's fairly self-explanatory. IGA is not a normal IGA, it's got hardware and furniture and lotto and whatever else you want in there. This is the only roundabout on the island here, folks. And that anchor that's sitting in there is one of the anchors off the Cataraqui, Australia's worst civil maritime disaster right up to this date. So I'll pick you folks up at 1:45 and we'll go on a little tour after lunch.
For lunch, we were taken to the King Island Hotel. The meal was included in our tour, and we were given several options for entrees, mains, and desserts. The hotel had set aside a dedicated area for our group, with each family assigned their own table. Since I was traveling alone, I had a table to myself. To start, I ordered the chili plum prawns served with steamed rice. The sweet and sour plum sauce complemented the rice beautifully, creating a delightful contrast of flavors. For the main course, I chose the steak with gravy. The portion was generous, and the steak, cooked to a perfect medium as requested, was exactly to my liking. To finish, I chose the panna cotta of the day, which had a rich and creamy texture with a refreshing strawberry flavour. Overall, I was thoroughly impressed with the quality of the meal. Each dish was prepared with care and everything was absolutely delicious.
This little patch of waterway here in the on the left used to be the town swimming pool, folks, before we got our in-ground pool in.
It's a nice
They used to have all the school carnivals there and whatever.
It's nice.
Fairly protected little piece of waterway.
The lunch took up half of our time on the island. Now we are taking a scenic route to Currie Harbour, where we enjoyed a short walk along the beach and came across a beautifully decorated boathouse. This small building overlooking the harbour is dubbed the restaurant with no food. The place is furnished with an assortment of colourful dining tables and chairs. The only thing missing is the food. You can bring your own and enjoy the company of friends and family. Furthermore, the paintings on the walls, books on the tables, and nearly every collectible in the house are for sale. Just leave the money in the honest tea box or pay ID the owner and you can take an artwork or two as souvenirs. The harbour at Currie is small, but it holds significant importance as the only safe haven for boats on the storm-battered west coast. Currie Wharf was King Island's major port for over 100 years, until Grassy Harbour was constructed in 1972.
So we're heading to the cheese factory now for a bit of a taste of our cheese.
Before heading back to the airport, we made one final stop, the highlight of the day and the key reason for many people to book this tour, the King Island Dairy.
The cheese factory is for sale. Very long established.
Established in 1923, this dairy has earned an international reputation for producing exceptional specialty cheeses, including award-winning varieties of blue, cheddar, brie and camembert. Upon arrival, we were welcomed into their tasting room, where a tasting plate featuring 6 of their most iconic cheeses awaited us. Each cheese was a masterpiece, and I can confidently say they were some of the finest I've ever tasted. Sadly, the future of this iconic dairy is uncertain. Saputo, a Canadian multinational company that acquired the dairy in 2019, announced in September 2024 its decision to close it by mid-2025 after failing to find a buyer. The closure will mark the end of an era for King Island, taking with it over a century of cheese-making excellence. It would be a heartbreaking loss for the local community, the dairy industry, and cheese lovers around Australia. And just like that, our enjoyable time on King Island has come to an end. One of the greatest perks of a charter flight is convenience. Once everyone is on board, we are ready for takeoff.
King Island traffic, Oscar Gun's lining up on runway 28.
Later, we are already over Melbourne. Essendon Airport's proximity to the city means passengers on the right side of the plane are treated to stunning views of the CBD during landing. To conclude, what an incredible day out! I think $697 for 2 flights and a guided tour of King Island is excellent value. Everything was well organized, the flights were smooth and the staff were exceptionally friendly. Considering the cost of maintaining this historic aircraft and its age, it's hard to say how much longer the DC-3 will continue flying. If you are an aviation enthusiast, this experience should definitely be on your bucket list. Thank you so much for watching. If you find this video interesting, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more flight and train reviews. See you all in my next video.